Callum, the manager wanted you all to put a smile on the face of the nation. I think you managed that. Can I just get your kind of considered thoughts on what you guys did on Thursday night?
Yeah, excellent. You know, to obviously get that step into the final, that was a plan for the start of the week. Obviously, we were building towards it for a long time, and you know, you could feel the sort of nervousness around it. But I thought the boys were excellent. You know, they did exactly what the manager asked them to do, and to hold your nerve at the end with the 5 penalties was excellent as well. So you know, it showed a good bit of character.
What was it like to be involved in it? Were you relieved? Were you delighted? What was your kind of preeminent feeling after it?
Oh yeah, obviously, you know, delighted. I think you can see that for the celebrations after the game. Probably a little bit of relief in there as well. I think just, you know, for the amount of time that the guys were building up to the game, I think the country was obviously anticipating the game for a long time, and to get the job done and get into the final, that was the objective at the start of it, and we've managed to achieve that.
Is that one of the most significant results you've been involved in? Most significant games you've played in?
Absolutely. Probably one of the biggest games. You know, you've got the country willing you on. A little bit of pressure to get there, so I think the players knew that as well, and to handle it the way they did. Obviously, the game wasn't a memorable one, but it was all about getting the job done, and like I said, to hold one there at the end with the penalties was excellent.
I know the main focus is on Slovakia tomorrow and then Czech Republic, but what do you make of the task ahead? 4 weeks on Thursday, Serbia away for a place at the Euros.
Yeah, obviously, you know, a tough game. We've got two games coming up, obviously, to prepare for that as well, against good opponents. So, you know, hopefully we can get some good work in those 2 games. You know, again, look at the systems, improve where we can, and obviously, like I say, keep that momentum going into the big one in a few weeks' time. And when it comes around, obviously, we know Serbia is a very tough opponent. They played very well against Norway the other night and deserved a victory. So we know it's a big task, but in a cup final, in a one-off game, then you just never know. And obviously, to go through in penalties, you need that little bit of luck. So here's hoping that, you know, that's on the right path of, you know, carrying a wee rub of the green as well.
You talk about momentum there. That's 6 unbeaten for the national team. You also had to deal with all the call-offs that you've just had. Do you sense it's all sort of beginning to come together? You're on a real roll.
Hopefully, yeah. Like you said, a little bit of a situation at the start of the week, and we've managed to come through that well. So, you know, we're missing some key players, but I think the credit has to go to the guys that came in and played. They were first class, and it shows another, you know, strength and depth in the squad, and that can only be positive. You know, going forward, like you say, we're trying to build something, and if we can get as many good players fit and available for Scotland, then ultimately that's the best thing for the country.
International football is quite difficult at the minute with all the travelling, with the pandemic, etc. Does that have any effect on yourself or the players? Is it just a case of observing all the protocols and crossing your fingers?
Yeah, pretty much. It's you know, you can try and do as much as you can, and obviously the medical team here have done a great job with the protocols and things like that. So you have to just try and adhere to the rules as best you can, and just hope for the best a little bit. And I think in the sense where if things go wrong, you have to just try and adapt as best you can. So, you know, fingers crossed we've did that well so far, and hopefully in you know, camps to come, then we'll do the same.
Is that a different and difficult thing to get your head around with as a player, Callum? Because if you have a normal injury and you're ruled out of a game, you can accept it, but in this case you might feel fine, but be told to isolate, as some of the boys have been for these fixtures.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the difficult bit of it. Like you said, if it's an injury and you know you've got something, then it's a little bit different. But you know, circumstances can dictate you missing a game, so you can understand the frustration of the lads that's happened to. So, but again, I think the main thing is the safety of everyone as well. So you can't take any chances in that sense. But you just have to adapt as best you can, and try and get your head around it, and try and follow as much of the protocols as you can all of the time.
The manager says the players at the big clubs like yourself, for example, can handle playing 3 games in the space of a week, 10 days. Realistic for you to do something like that in this scenario?
Yeah, I think so. You know, I always talk about it. I like to play as much football as I can, and you know, it is a quick turnaround. But you know, we're just it as well. We pretty much have 2 days in between every game that we play, from, you know, July onwards every season. So we're in a routine where our bodies can handle it, and like I said, you know, previously we've obviously been curtailed with the virus, so to get back on the pitch playing, I just want to play as many minutes as I can.
You've done that successfully, well, right through your Celtic career, but will your manager be understanding if you played 90 minutes, 120 minutes, 90 minutes and then go back for a big fixture at the weekend?
Yeah, I think obviously, you know, he maybe look at it slightly differently, and that's the challenge with the international managers as well. They have to try and see it from both sides of point of view as well, and that can be a little bit difficult sometimes. But you know, I think if you're fit and healthy and well and you want to play, then obviously you're a footballer and that's your job, that's what you want to do. So I can understand it for both sides. You know, I just love playing football and I want to play in every game that I can. So you know, that's my take on it.
3 games in a week, is that just a normal week for Callum McGregor?
That's a quiet week.
That's a quiet week. No, exactly. That's it. I'm used to it now as well. So my body can take it. My body can handle it. So you know, I'm looking forward to the games coming up.
Playing those away games for Celtic in Europe, how much of a benefit is that for next month?
Yeah, exactly. To have that experience of obviously the travel, playing the games, coming back, then playing maybe early on a Sunday or whatever, then it prepares you. So we'll be looking forward to the game obviously when it comes around next month, but I think our focus for the next few days is on the 2 upcoming games, and like I said, we'll deal with that next month when we get there.
Is there a danger that after the big game against Israel, it's a case of after the Lord Mayor's show, you know, and the kind of concentration dips a little?
I don't think so. I think, you know, hopefully it'll go the other way in terms of you know, that being probably the first success as the group's had together, and it was a big moment for the group as well. So you know, hopefully it'll go the other way, where you know, boys are bounced onto the training pitch this morning probably feeling better than what they would have done if they'd have lost the game, and you know, there's a real sense of happiness and togetherness in the squad. So you know, I'm hoping that it'll go the other way and everyone will be fresh for tomorrow.
Feels like so everyone's had their say on the shape of the team with the 3 at the back and everything. Steve, I think, said after the match that he'd talked with the players about it and everyone was into it. Do you feel like the players are getting more comfortable with it, like it's something that's starting to bear fruit?
I think so. I think you know, that's obviously the last couple of camps that we've played that formation, and you know, it takes a little bit of time to click and gel and make sure everyone's in the right position as the ball moves and the team move together and press at the right time. So you know, it does take a little bit of time, and then even more so in international football when you have so many different football philosophies coming together. You have 2 days to put it into practice. So you know, I think the manager's done a great job in that sense of getting us organised, and you know, I felt like we were pretty comfortable the other night in terms of, you know, we weren't conceding much chances. You know, maybe we gave up a little bit too much of the ball, but I think you would rather their centre backs had the ball than the 7 did, and he was our main threat. So we managed to snuff him out pretty much every time he got towards the box, and so it's just a case of building and trying to get better at playing it, and that comes with the confidence of getting results and building momentum. So you know, hopefully that's something that will come pretty soon.
Is it the chance creation, getting the goals, is that what you hope has to be the next thing that comes from this?
I think so. You know, obviously like I said, the last couple of camps we've looked fairly good defensively. We haven't given up many chances, and like you said, that's probably the next building block in terms of working on that system. How do we then get the full-backs involved and playing more like wingers, and swinging the game that way? So like I said, that'll come, but it takes time, especially when you have 2 days sort of preparation time for the game.
Can we have a chance to speak to Stuart or Ryan, Kieran, that had to miss the game?
Yeah, I spoke a little bit to Kieran the other day. So you know, obviously he's frustrated, but the 3 boys, you know, texting in the group chat straight after the game, they were delighted for the boys as well. So you know, obviously we were gutted they missed it, but it's nice to see that they were straight away in the group chat and delighted for the boys. So you know, you have to have sympathy for them. We desperately wanted them involved, you know, and obviously the situation that is really difficult. But you know, as a group of players in a squad, then you know, we're very much together.
Sounds like you were trying to do it kind of for them as well, partly.
I think so. I think, you know, we are a group. We're a strong, close group, and you know, when you lose a couple, then you have that sense of, right, let's go and do it for the lads as well. And like I said, the boys that came in were first class, and it was a real team effort.